Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. We're back at it again. What is this? What episode is this, Nabs?
This is number 12.
Numero 12.
Number 12.
Numero 12.
How many languages can we say 12 in?
I don't know. I only know 12 in Spanish and English. Barely in English. How many languages do you know 12 in, Nabil?
5.
Go for it.
I'm not going to go for it now because my pronunciation is
Go
embarrassing.
for it.
I'm not going to do it. I'll do French. Onze. No. That's 11. 12.
Dudes.
Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf, dix, onze,
Do
douze.
Arabic.
No.
Why?
No. Because you'll laugh at me later.
Why would I laugh at you?
I've got an Arab audience in Tunisia.
Ah, there you go.
Talked about a fan base. Mine's in Tunisia.
That's nice.
With Africa.
It's kind of weird not having Scappy here.
Where is he anyway? I don't even know.
He's in Italy. Oh,
We
where?
have a
Should I look
call
on
today with a client.
He's not going to be on it.
It's been scheduled.
Let's see. Let's look at Find Friends. If you're wondering, yes, I have Rich on Find Friends. Let's see. Rich is... It looks like he's driving. Is that Lake Como?
Lago Maggiore, right next to it.
Yeah, he's on Lake Como.
That's nice.
Chiasso. Oh, the road that he's on? I've been on this road. It's so beautiful. Ugh.
It's one of my favorite, favorite places on the planet. I used to go every year to Italy. It's just I wonder if Italians appreciate what they have. When they wake up in the morning, in a small hamlet up north in Genoa.
There's that meme, that meme that goes around that's like, my grandparents moved from Italy to the U.S. to seek a better life. And then it's like, I'm moving from the U.S. to Italy in search of a better life now.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It
I
does.
mean, the thing is like, the country is just extremely, there's just not a lot of opportunity.
Where?
In Italy.
In Italy, yeah, of course, yeah.
And so, like, they have a aging population, and they just don't have a ton of, they just don't have a ton of industry. The remote world, you would think, they would probably be getting an influx of individuals, right? That can work remote,
Yeah.
And like they're doing all those things where it's like you can buy a house for a euro.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of cool. But like it's in the middle, it's in these like little towns.
Yeah, but you have to. There's certain qualifications that you have to meet if you want a house for a euro. You have to renovate it.
Yeah, you have to renovate it,
make it livable, stuff like that. But don't you have to occupy it for a little bit?
You might have to.
Yeah.
We wanted to. We
Spain's doing that too.
Hold on, I'm texting my wife.
I think during the height of the, just prior to the real estate crash, was it 2008? The big crash, the last one. I've lived through so many now. It's just,
2008, yeah.
Yeah. Right after that, Spain had gone and built so many brand new communities, and they're completely unoccupied. Like
Spain?
Yeah.
España?
Yeah.
Spain's nice.
Crash happened, and they're all unoccupied. It's the same thing in China.
China's different. China has a bunch of ghost cities.
Towns. Yeah, same in Spain. Same thing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how many, but I saw it on the news.
I really want to. So Nikki's granddad, little town in Italy called Alboreto.
North, south, middle. Where
It's,
is it? What's the closest big city?
So it's really cool. The closest big city
or famous city whatever.
would be Parma.
Okay.
And the closest next kind of big city is called Borgo Valdetaro. And it's like this little town, and Alboreto is like in these hills, And the region's really cool because it sits on the border of Liguria, Emilia-Romagna, and Tuscany. Like
Oh,
they
okay, it's
all
in
like
that area.
meet. It's really interesting. And so you have these like it looks like The Hobbit, like these
Hmm.
big rolling hills. That turn. Some of them are mountains, really. It's just so amazing. And there's a river that runs through it that's just incredible. I want to
Sounds like a fairy tale.
it literally looks like like when we were there with him
Alboreto. I'm gonna look it up.
so when we got married in Florence,
Yeah.
and then Poppy Joe, her granddad, came with us, and we went to his house, and it's the first time like he'd been to the house with anyone, and like there were still like the grapes that they were growing back in like 1940 something. Those grapevines were growing wild, and he was like picking the grapes and eating them, and like
This is unreal.
giving us all these stories.
What's with the homes and the cone roofs? Is
Alboreto?
Is that the right place?
I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah.
What did you look up? Google
I just
Maps?
did Alboreto, double T, Italy, and I'm getting these unreal pictures of the homes there.
You're doing Alboreto della Torre.
No, Alboreto, Puglia.
No, not Puglia. That's southern Italy.
Okay. Oh, it came out as Alborello.
Yeah.
It's a different place. Anyway, I'll look it up.
It's funny though because the mayor of the town
Yeah.
is like when we went with Nikki, that's where I proposed to her. I said some lame shit that was like, you don't know where you're going unless you know where you came from.
Did you practice that on the flight there?
No, I made it up on the spot.
Scripted?
But like this is Alboreto. It's a tiny little town, but look how beautiful that is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is a fairy tale.
It's like, and all around is these rolling hills. Anyways, it's funny, like the mayor of the town, David Riccoboni.
Related?
Yeah.
No kidding.
There's Riccobonis are all over the town.
So they own the town.
Yeah. There's all these like Madonna statues. Like, you know what the Madonna is?
Mm-hmm.
And they were all made by her great-great-granddad.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Are any of those statues like feeding water? Is there like a
No,
system?
it's just like in the hills. Like you'll just be like driving around like the town, the hills, and there'll be this like massive statue, and like just of a Madonna, just like random, and like that's what he had made that, and his name is on it.
That craft is
Well, they were all
disappearing,
stonemasons,
Yeah, stonemasons, bricklaying, all of it.
and it was just so interesting, so interesting. It's I don't know how. Yeah, like look at the locate. Anyways, doesn't matter. I don't know how, but we're gonna figure out how to
Establish a home over there.
Yeah, I mean they still pay taxes on it. Our granddad still pays taxes on it, but I think his sister does, and it just I think it's complicated.
Yeah.
In how you have to like attain.
Is Nikki a citizen as well?
She's
a passport?
not, but she needs to do it because her granddad never became a U.S. citizen.
It doesn't matter as long as
It doesn't, but it makes it even easier because he never renounced his Italian citizenship. Like he is still an Italian citizen, not a U.S. citizen. He has a green card.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How long has he had it?
60 years.
A green card?
Yeah.
Didn't know you could do that.
I don't know. He's a business owner now. I have no idea
You
how it
have
works.
dual anyway.
Like when we went, he didn't want to be a U.S. citizen. When we went to Italy, when he came to Italy when we got married, he had to go get his Italian passport renewed. And that was the first time that everyone in the whole family, like her dad, her brother, sister, his wife, didn't know he wasn't a U.S. citizen. They found out he was an Italian citizen. No one knew.
Unreal.
No one knew.
That's amazing.
He didn't tell anyone. He was just like, oh, well. It's like, Poppy Joe, what the heck?
Poppy Joe.
And then when we're there, we're like touring around the town. He's like, oh, that's my old church. And we go in and like he sees.
He'd been back though, right?
No, he hadn't been back in, I don't know. I don't know that
decades or 60 years that he'd been
I don't
here.
think he'd ever been back. Wow. So his brother, his Poppy Joe's son went to the house, and there was a Madonna that overlooked the house.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm going to bring this back." So he grabbed it and brought it back to Poppy. And he was like, "Hey, Poppy Joe, or Poppy, I found this, da 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 da." He was like, "What are you doing? That protects the house." And then his brother Mario got a flight the next week and flew back to Italy, went to the house and put it up on the house, and then put plexiglass around it and screwed it in. That's how serious they were about that thing.
Protects the house.
And this isn't made up either. His brothers' names were Mario and Luigi. I swear to God. I swear to God.
That's funny.
Anyways, but yeah, so he came back and we were at this church, and the priest comes out and he was like, "Your brother so and so." They were classmates. Hadn't seen each other in 60 something years, and they were just talking, hitting it. It was incredible.
That's something.
It was so cool to see.
It's almost better than the wedding.
Yeah, it was watching him. It was just, he was telling us all these stories about porcini mushrooms. That's the big thing in that region.
Yeah.
And they would go up at night before porcini mushroom season opened, and they'd camp out in the hills when he was a kid. And then they would just go crazy under the moonlight picking porcini mushrooms before everyone else could with big bags. And I don't know.
On their own land or just?
Yeah, they owned all this land up in the hills. He was like, "We still probably own it, but we don't know where it is anymore," kind of thing.
It's interesting.
It's crazy.
It's really interesting.
It blew my mind.
Parni grew up on a farm too in India, and her grandfather, who owned the farm and ran it, got all the grandkids to harvest as well. I don't know what they were growing though. I forget what it was, but sure it wasn't cotton, because she would have the scars from that. But anyway.
Cotton would fucking suck.
Yeah, I know. It's got the thorns, right?
Dude, beast. That would suck. I don't know. There's something to be said about farm life, man. Okay, what are we talking about today?
I don't know. I've been out of office. Haven't kept up.
Oh yeah,
Well, kind of out of office, but.
So I can't believe Kramer won't give you his truck.
He doesn't trust me with it. He asked me that question. Can you drive a big car? I'm like, what are you talking about?
All right. Here's some recent news. So I don't know, Nabs, if you saw this, but Stripe had their big conference or whatever. Mm-hmm. They announced that they are accepting crypto payments again, USDC.
Okay.
Any thoughts on that?
Did they recently hire some compliance folks to help them out with that?
I guess. I mean, Stripe's like a 8,000 person company at this point.
If I had as much money as Stripe, and I would take those kind of risks too.
Yeah, why not?
Until the guardrails come out.
Everyone's been making it up like it's this big deal,
It's just the bankers get spooked.
Well,
they don't understand it. It's been around for so long now, but the bankers who are, boomers, the ones that run it, don't understand it.
Yeah, and it's like what I don't get is I'm like, I get it. It's cool that Stripe is doing this, the USDC payments, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you've tried to buy anything with USDC.
I've never tried to buy anything with digital assets. Ever.
The experience is miserable.
How so?
Well, you have to connect a wallet,
Okay.
And then the process of connecting a wallet is very difficult. because it's like you know, how are you going to connect your wallet? Oh, I got to log into Coinbase, or I've got to log into MetaMask or whatever it is, and just like many different screens. And I guess you could argue that like it's the same thing as inputting a credit card, maybe. But I don't know. I just think the experience is really bad. Luckily with USDC, the price doesn't fluctuate. With Bitcoin though, like the price will fluctuate.
Yeah.
And so then it's like you end up paying more, sometimes less, whatever.
What is it? Like $1 for 98 cents, or is it 1 for 1?
USDC?
Yeah.
It's 1 for 1. It's
1 to
pegged.
1, no fee to have it.
There is a fee.
I'm not talking about the exchange.
No, there's
Platform
I mean,
fee.
there has to be a fee.
So it's like $1 equals 98 cents or 99 cents or 99.5
maybe,
cents.
you know, I don't know what the
something like
fees
that.
are on USDC anymore. Because I don't really send it. I think, I want to say, you know what? Why don't we Google this? What are the fees? I'm not even
Now,
going
if Stripe is doing this, this could be the first step to a massive change in,
That's what people are,
Yeah.
that's kind of,
right? This could be the beginning of the end of financial systems the way we know it, at least the way I'm used to it. Which is good. Change is good.
yeah, so that's what I thought. So like, the thing is like, it all depends on if the network is backed up or not, right? So like gas fees, that's how it works on Ethereum, which is what USDC is built on. So like you could end up paying like a really ridiculous amount in fees to pay for something, like $5 to $10, and $5 to $10 would not be absurd in a fee for something.
Like to buy what?
I don't know, to buy a T-shirt online,
Yeah.
because
Well, then that's gonna.
that's
How does it move forward then? At
That's-
those kind of fees, fiat will still control the world.
that's
Fiat and
that's
credit.
well, that's the whole thing. Now there's people working on it, and I'm not sure what here Coinbase. I'm not sure like how they make the fees less, you know, but yeah, that's my only thing. I'm like, I think it's cool that Stripe's doing it, but I also think it's like Stripe's still a startup, and everyone like really like blew this up as like, oh, this is a big deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal because there's so many other crypto payment companies out
Stripe
there.
a startup? They're not a startup.
They're not a startup, but they're not a publicly traded company yet, and they
How
still
many employees do they have now?
they have like 7,000. I know they're not a startup, but I think people look at. I don't even know if people look at them. I look at them as like innovative sometimes, and them introducing USDC just doesn't. I don't know how it just. I was just like about time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because apparently, like back in 2018, they did Bitcoin, and obviously, the price fluctuations were way too much. They were losing their ass. So I'm like, I mean, just doing USDC just really doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But I guess to everybody else, it's like a signal that, oh, look, Stripe's doing it. That means banks are going to be easing up on it. I get it, kind of. I don't know. Maybe I'm a pessimist, Nabs. Am I? I don't know.
I don't think you're a pessimist.
Ooh, you hear about this? The Southern District of New York is investigating Square's parent company, Block, for alleged widespread compliance lapses.
Not
Accusations from a former employee cite thousands of pages of documents, including failing to gather enough customer evidence to assess risks and whether Square processed transactions across Iran, Russia, and other sanctioned countries.
Not again.
That's bad.
What was
The same thing is going on with Chime as well.
People take compliance for granted. I don't understand.
This is bad.
You just push the limits without pushing the compliance limits again, right? This is bad. It's going to trickle into everything once again.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I think what happens, man, is like these guys get on autopilot.
Yeah.
right? And they get so big that deals just start slipping through the cracks.
Do they hire gray hair at all? These kind of companies?
Oh, 100%. But I think,
Or bankers?
yeah, they do. But it's like, think of it like this. You, at some point, especially credit card transactions, stuff like that, at some point, I mean, you would think you would be able to figure this out. But at some point, you grow so fast and you don't have the controls set up to be able to monitor everything. So, like, the way Stripe does it is it's default on, right? So they'll let you sign up, submit your stuff, like you're processing payments in a day or two, right?
Yeah.
But if you go over a certain threshold or limit, then they have triggers
Yeah.
that pause your account for further review.
Yeah, I remember our customers were
And I'm like,
crossing that limit.
how did Square allow? I mean, this is failing together enough customer evidence to assess risks and whether Square processed transactions across Iran and like, how do you somehow? How is that even like alleged that you processed Iranian?
It was the whistleblower making those allegations, right?
But my point being is like, as a business, it's like Iran, like fuck no.
Yeah.
Russia, especially post-war, fuck no. Like, how do you, like, that seems like the most basic.
Did they apply dates to that? Because Russia was okay at pre-war.
There's no this post doesn't have any
So the Russia thing could have happened prior to the invasion of Ukraine, but definitely after Crimea, I would assume.
Yeah,
Iran's been no-go since the 80s.
that's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
This is just it. These bad players. You would expect more of a company like Block.
Huh. This one's cool.
Or it could just be easily explained.
Notable funding announcements. Palmetto, a send now, pay later startup, merging international money transfer with credit. We know a thing or two about that.
Yes, we do.
Secured a $35 million Series A funding round led by Vi Capital and Founders Fund. The company also revealed they'd expanded their warehouse facility by $75 million. Good for them. Palmetto operates on a credit card-based remittance model, partnering with MasterCard for a send now, pay later service. The startup, founded in 2022, has added new payment options like GCash for Filipino users. With plans to enter Mexico next, Palmetto aims to utilize the fresh capital for product and market expansion. Huh.
Send what now then? Why do they have a warehouse?
It sounds
sure I
like what they're
understand
doing. They must have an insane compliance program or risk assessment, because like they're doing remittances, send now, pay later. So like think of it as like payday loan advancement, but cross border. And I'm doing it on. I have a $140 million credit facility, so I have $140 million that I can loan out effectively. That seems so risky.
So if they're partnered with MasterCard, you said?
I guess MasterCard is like
Who's the borrower? The foreign
the consumer, the individual.
Holding the credit, but where are they? When I say, who's
I guess they're in the U.S. I don't know.
As long as they have a social security number, you could do a quick assessment of credit, and they get their borrowing power.
I guess you're right. Maybe it's
not that hard. I mean,
you know what? That made it sound like it's like a remittance. See, this is the problem sometimes. People use the word remittance too loosely. Like remittance is meant for consumers.
That's right.
This is a business, a B2B play. Like I went to their website and it's specifically for B2B. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Well, it's the author.
Say what?
It's the author whoever wrote that.
I know. I
Yeah.
just come on. And obviously, what? Let's do it in English. A new way of launching your fintech business. We develop modern technology to issue, process, manage card businesses in Latin America. Good for them. I think I remember Pomelo. Huh. We should reach out to him. Oh, they're based out of Buenos Aires.
At Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel, time to go to work, buddy. Time to go to work. Wow, we're really talking about fintech stuff this week.
It's Richard. He's a reason why we get distracted and talk about other things.
You think so?
Yeah.
Any shows you've been watching on Netflix lately?
Yeah. Watching Killing Eve, which is turning out to be pretty remarkable.
Killing Eve?
Yeah.
What is that?
Sandra Oh. It's on Netflix.
Sandra Oh. Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. Didn't know it had already into its second season. I don't know if there's a third season, but Parneet and I are in the second season. It's
What's it
really
about?
Good. So Sandra Oh works for the British government, MI5.
MI5.
Yeah, I think it's domestic stuff, and her specialty is serial killer or assassin psychology.
Assassin psychology?
Yeah, and I think so, something like that. Anyway, so there's this Russian assassin who doesn't exactly work for the government, but works for this clandestine organization that could be international, but her handler is Russian as well, working for their secret service.
Okay.
And basically, she's been tracking this girl, this killer, and they're basically the killer, the assassin, and Sandra Oh's character are basically the same person, but different people. The personality is the same.
So basically,
commitment
Sandra Oh is an assassin.
They have
That's why
this
she
mutual
knows.
respect. They find out the assassin finds out about her and this investigation, and they run this parallel life where she's chasing after the assassin, but they're very close because they realize we are connected. We are the same person.
Interesting.
Yeah, assassin's a psychopath, like clinically. And it's really interesting. You got to pick that up. That's really good. Killing Eve.
Is it
From the first episode? It's
But is it a
outstanding.
Netflix original series?
I don't know. Actually, it's on Netflix. Takes place in the UK and around the world.
Okay, because it's like, the shows that I absolutely can't stand.
I love limited series. It's the best thing. You start the limited series knowing that there's going to be an end.
Oh, great! It's BBC America, BBC. Yeah, okay.
It's really, really good. Really good.
Oh, they're lesbians?
They're not lesbians.
It looks like they're kissing.
They're not.
I'm
Sandra's
just-
character is straight, but she's falling in love with the assassin, so to speak. She loves her out of respect and stuff like that for who she is.
Oh.
Whereas the assassin goes both ways.
I see.
The assassin's actually in love with Sandra Oh's character, whereas Sandra Oh is not in love but kind of loves her, and she's starting to turn. I don't want to give away too much.
Is this a chick flick?
No, I wouldn't say it's a chick flick at all. Series. It's a series, not a flick.
All right.
Yeah, you'll like it. It makes you think.
Makes
It's
you
good.
think.
It makes you think.
I've been rewatching. Have you ever watched White Collar?
No,
Um,
isn't that on Sci-Fi Network or something?
no, it's like a WB. It was or like
Okay.
one of those
Cable network.
Yeah. But we used to watch it in college, and it's silly. It's a good light show to just like have in the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's been good. It's funny, like rewatching something that you watched so
Yeah, I
long
just
ago.
finished watching season 1 of Fallout as well on
Oh,
Prime. I think it's the same people that made The Boys. It's got to be the same people. It's ridiculous and funny. It's unreal. It's really good.
I need to watch Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout is really, really a good show. But you got to be prepared for the gore. There's a lot of gore. But it's playoff season, so I'm not really watching much of
Mavs.
other than
Mavs killed it last night.
I'm not talking about they were playing an injured team, weren't they?
The Clippers?
The Clippers, weren't they shorthanded?
No, the Mavs
No,
were
the Miami Heat was shorthanded.
The Mavs were shorthanded. Luka had like a gimp knee the whole game.
Yeah, I know, and he scored, 34?
Dude, how many did he score? Let's see.
I'm talking about NHL playoffs.
Dude, no one watches the NHL.
Are you kidding? Luka has a sprained knee. Fine, he played and he got 34 points. He sucked it up and he did it.
35 points, thank you. But you know what's fucked is he had. Wait.
You want to know the truth about basketball in the playoffs?
What?
Player will sprain his finger and that's it. He's done. He's done for the series.
No.
I'm injured. Hockey players will play with broken ribs. That's the difference.
The problem,
unless you have a migraine.
Dude, have you ever played basketball with a sprained finger? You literally
tape it up.
People tape it, and that's what happens. But like, it just changes the whole game.
Have you ever played hockey with a broken leg?
No.
And then win the Stanley Cup?
Who?
1967, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh my god!
I forget what's the name of the player.
The last time the Toronto Maple Leafs were in.
The guy was taken out on a stretcher with a broken leg, and he came back in the third period and scored like goals. Okay, hockey players are tough.
Look, Michael Jordan played championship with the flu and was literally dying
Michael
on
Jordan,
the court.
Kobe, they're different, right? They'll play through an injury. They won't just sit out.
A lot of guys play through injuries.
Not really. Not basketball players.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. There is a Well, the problem is there's a big study taking place, especially in the NBA, around recovery and what it can do for the team. So, like, prime example, the year the Mavs won the championship.
Yeah. With
Dirk.
What's his name?
Dirk
Nowitzki, yeah.
That was the first year that after every game, do you know what cryotherapy is?
Yep.
The whole team was doing cryo like every single day. And after so their recovery time was like insane. San Antonio Spurs, Greg Popovich, the reason that they were so good, I mean, not only was he a great coach and they had great players, but watch how he subs his players. He would rest players intentionally just because like it would give them that much more over the series, right? Because like there is a period of like, especially in high intensity sports like basketball, where how much you rest your players directly correlates to like your winning percentage over the course of the season or the series, etc. Because like if you just run them into the ground, you might win that game. But over the course of the series, like it compounds, right?
Yeah.
It's like, shit, I just played a whole game. I played another whole game. By the third game, like you might appear physically to be okay and like whatever, but like your body is not able to fully recover.
Yeah, I get that. That makes a lot of sense. And if there's statistics and data around it, it makes sense. But I don't think it works the same way in NHL playoff hockey.
Because hockey's easy.
It's more intense than basketball.
Hockey has more.
You can only do a 30, 45 second shift until you're completely gassed.
But that's
you're taking body checks, the same strength.
But that's my point is that hockey, you have line changes.
Yeah.
Like it's part of the sport.
Yeah.
Right. In basketball, you don't really have that. You have guys that will literally play
48 minutes. Yeah.
And that.
I guess it's a different type of
It's a different strategy.
Yeah.
Fundamentally different strategy. It's like why did Iowa lose to South Carolina?
What in the
women's national championship?
Okay.
They lost because Iowa didn't have a bench. South Carolina was rolling deep. Right? So South Carolina was coming out like they were playing their bench. They had a deep bench. So like all their players were able to get rested, whereas like Iowa had like 7 people. So you're only ever able to really sub out 2 at a time. Caitlin Clark, you can't ever really take her out, right? And so like they start out really strong, but like if you watch in those games, like in that game,
You're just getting tired.
at the end of the game, like they were just missing shots that they normally would be hitting. Like they would hit all the time.
Well,
They're
they
just
have
gassed.
the players, they just didn't play them.
Sure, they have the play, but they don't. But those players aren't like
Okay.
they're not national championship caliber yet. Maybe they're freshmen, maybe they're sophomores, maybe the coach just doesn't trust them. Whatever it is.
So the recruiters didn't recruit well, basically. Who wouldn't want to play with Caitlin Clark? If you're coming out of high school looking for a college to go to, why wouldn't you want to be on the same team and get the, why couldn't Iowa just get the best freshmen, rising high school students
I mean, I don't know. It's
and
like
recruit them?
I think there's a lot that plays into it. I mean, do you want to go play with Caitlin Clark, who's going to take all the spotlight?
Why not? You learn. That's the lack of foresight.
Yeah, but if you can also be a freshman that starts at
Yeah.
a different college and your coach is going to try and make you the all-star, I don't know.
I guess.
There's a lot of psychology that goes in. And then now, like with the transfer portal, it just makes everything so.
I don't know what that is, but
College athletes can enter the transfer portal after season and go to a different school.
with a scholarship,
Yeah, they can get Yeah.
I did not know. It's like
like-
they're getting paid now too, right?
Yeah, they're getting paid. They
Good.
can get paid. They're not all of them are getting paid.
So they're pros.
They
Semi-pros.
should. They should be. They're amateurs. I mean
So,
when you look at college sports, it's just amateur.
it's unique to the U.S., right? It's a big
Is it?
money machine. Yeah. I mean, there's no athletic scholarships in Canada, for example.
Really?
Nope. Just academic.
No shit.
Yep.
Maybe that's why they don't have any gold medals.
No, they've got all the gold medals. Too many to wear, but in one sport. That's maybe figure skating, and curling. But the issue is in Canada, you don't need to have athletic scholarships because the best athletes go to U.S. colleges, right? They get recruited. If they don't, I can only speak of hockey. If they don't go
If they don't go pro in hockey, yeah.
If they don't get drafted by the time they're 15,
Right.
by a specific junior club, then they're looking to get a scholarship to the U.S. And the U.S. NCAA system is getting so good at hockey now with really great programs. It's like sprouting up everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, it's hurting the Canadian system, right? Canadian players are still playing and going. It's the number one sport up there. But now a lot of the players, the juniors, are committing to U.S. colleges by the time they're 15. They're
It kind of makes sense. All right, go commit to a U.S. college. Go get an education.
That's exactly why.
And then if you end up going pro, great.
Yeah.
But guess what? You still got to play hockey through college, and you get an education.
And they're getting trained really well too
Yeah.
now in college. It's a completely different. And what's also happening is a lot of the coaches are getting hired by U.S. colleges.
Interesting.
And it's really depleting what's going on in Canada. The Hockey Canada system is struggling at the moment.
No joke.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Just as many players. Players are still there. They're still going to play for their country.
Yeah.
But they're going the U.S. college route now because more and more programs are popping up.
Yeah,
in
because
the
I always
strangest
thought
places.
college hockey was kind of like so-so. U.S. college hockey was like
It's coming. It's changing. You'll start seeing it on Fox Sports like just as much as.
Wait, are you saying they don't have sports scholarships in other? I had never thought about this.
Yeah, there's no academics.
What about like in like Europe, UK?
No, there's none. It's just a U.S. thing. There might be some somewhere, right? If you think about football, soccer, right? You're getting, drafted by clubs like Barcelona had Messi when he was 14, 13, maybe 12. He was in the junior system. You're not going to college. You're in their system. It's the same in Canada for hockey.
So basically, college for us is the equivalent of college sports for us is the equivalent of like amateur sports and other.
Yeah, exactly.
Which,
but I think it's a better system because you go into school.
Exactly. To that point, it makes sense for them to get paid.
Yeah. You're going to start seeing in the NHL draft, you're going to start seeing more and more drafts in the first round happen from the U.S. college system.
The only thing that I think is dumb is it's not dumb, honestly. I go back and forth on it. Is like for basketball, you have the one and doneers.
Yep.
So what they can do is, because you can't go to the league anymore right out of high school. You used to be able to do that.
In basketball?
Yeah, NBA.
Who was the last person? Like LeBron James?
Yeah, like that, around that generation.
Why can't you do that?
They stopped it however many years ago. So you have to go to college now for at least 1 year. And so what's happening is like a lot of these guys are going to college for literally 1 year.
Yeah.
And I think football is the same way. For 1 year. And then they go straight into the NBA.
Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. You lost your freedom. Why can't you get employed? You can drop out of high school and go work at Walmart if you want to.
I don't remember.
Why can't you go work for the NBA?
I don't remember. I was too young to care about the argument for like why they were doing this.
It's a money thing.
Probably a money thing. It is kind of ridiculous. Like if you can go pro
good enough.
If you're good enough in high school to go pro, like why would you not just let them go pro?
Yeah.
Because then think about it like this. You go to college, you get hurt, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're done. Granted, I will say though, for football, I think look, if you're good enough to go pro for football out of high school, good for you.
Football's different because you could get killed. Your body needs to physically mature.
Well, and I was that's why you see a lot of quarterbacks now. I say a lot. Most quarterbacks, I feel like, play a full 4 years in college now. I don't think you see many quarterbacks that don't play the full 4 years.
Because that's probably the right thing.
Well, it's also like, imagine you're the quarterback and you're killing it, or you're building it up. It's like that's your time to shine on the college stage. And now that you're getting paid, makes sense. Stay in it.
Well, there's two things in football. I'm a football fan, but I don't have a team, right?
What? Cowboys?
No, I think it's probably Bills, if anything.
Bills?
Yeah, because that's all that was on TV all the time when I grew up in Toronto, right?
The Buffalo Bills, dude, don't get me wrong. Fuck Bills Mafia for sure, but come on, dude. You live in Texas, right? Cowboys.
Most of the fans in the Bills stadium are from Canada.
Yeah.
Just tell you that. But anyway, and they go there to watch whatever their favorite team is playing. It's not necessarily the Bills, right?
Okay.
Anyway, so what was I saying? Football is a chess game, right?
Football?
Yeah, it's chess. Every motion that your opposing player is making, like a little twitch here or there, it's a tell. It's a chess match, right? And it's a physical game. So I understand the 4 years of college, right? You got to physically mature.
You have to physically mature.
You can't come in as a scrawny 200-pound,
and as a
6'4" guy. You're gonna get crushed.
And as a quarterback, you especially need to mature because there's just so much going on,
mentally and physically. You got to really
quarterback
study.
in football is.
It's the same as med school.
Quarterback football.
It's as challenging as med school.
You got to think
lives, though, but
how. Like,
football players, quarterbacks generally have the highest IQ.
Oh, of course.
Some of the highest.
Dude, think. Not only do you have to know everything that's going on offense, you have to be able to read defenses.
Yep.
You have to be able
make decisions.
You've got to make decisions like that. You've got to have good pocket feel, right? Like you've got to be able to sense when something bad's
Why aren't more retired quarterback CEOs?
Well, I think they make so much fucking money. It's like, what?
Why
would you? Quarterbacks?
I feel like the football average life of a professional football player is 4.5 years career span.
No. Dude, we're gonna Google this.
Yeah, I don't think it's more than 10,
bro.
Take the whole thing, including quarterbacks, and then do another search on just the quarterbacks. How long is the average career for a quarterback? But I bet you it's less than 10 for a football player and close to 10 for a quarterback. can tell you're shocked by the number. If I were to guess, it's close to 5-year span for a football player. So you're not making a lot of money. You're making a lot of money in a very short period of time.
I'm going to do average salary of backup quarterback.
That's going to be in the millions. They're valuable people.
Okay, here you go. Roughly like the highest paid backup quarterback, it sounds like, is $5.7 million a year.
Yeah, makes sense.
They're definitely making well over $1 million. Like third string quarterbacks are 1 to 1.5
Yeah, but that's not
a year.
the question. The question is what's the career span of a football player, and then separately a quarterback? I'd say a football player is like 5 years.
Average career length in years, 4 years.
There you go. And quarterback?
Yeah, that was for quarterback.
That's for quarterback.
Yeah, four, basically 5 years. But think about it.
What's going on? How come it's that? I guess you only hear about the famous quarterbacks.
Well,
like Brady playing 21 years.
Well, I think you have to think about it like these guys know that they're going into the league. Okay, like put it like this. You come out of college, you get drafted, say you're able to make $1 to $2 million a year, right? Mm-hmm. If you know your backup quarterback, and you're smart with your money.
Yeah.
You live modestly, very modestly, right?
What is modestly? Like
I don't know, like
$1 million home, and then
no, like you rent, you don't own, you don't have any expenses because you don't have any kids yet.
You have a BMW, not a Lamborghini.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like you live modestly, like you spend a few $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Okay. You do that for 4 years, 5 years. So say over 4 or 5 years, and with all these things, like say you're able to clear $10 million. If you're able to put away half of that, I mean you're pretty much set.
And then you get a pension, right?
Yeah, but NFL pension's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
MLB pension's legit.
Same with NHL.
But I think a lot of NFL QBs, I mean, even if you you still got to work, but it's like, I don't know. If you're smart with your money, you buy some car washes. You do some things where it's like you get good cash flowing income coming in, and you chill. You hang out.
Quarterback.
Huh?
I played the wrong sport.
Yeah, quarterback. It's hard. You got to be so freaking good.
Yeah, the high school in my neighborhood, Lake Travis High School.
Well,
they're recruiting kids.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's Baker Mayfield. You know, all of West Austin.
Yeah.
Drew Brees, Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
All three I know.
All three went to Westlake. Or no, two of them went to Westlake. One went to Lake Travis.
Wow.
I mean, the football scene in West Austin is gnarly.
It's crazy. I mean, there's traffic on Friday nights.
Oh, yeah.
Traffic in my neighborhood. Look,
Westlake has won like 7 of the last 8 football state championships.
Oh, state, yeah.
And Lake Travis and Westlake are like huge rivals. I mean, they're always going at it with one another. It's like,
where's Austin High School in all this?
Oh, dude, they're bad school.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, Lake Travis High School is like a well-funded college campus. They have 3 football facilities, baseball diamonds. They have everything.
That's why people move out there. You can't. The city of Austin is. I mean, in my opinion, any inner city school, and it's not like.
I mean, Austin High School is not inner city. It's just
downtown. It's not inner city, but it's just like you're just not gonna have the same amount of talent that you're going to have at Westlake and Lake Travis, where it's like, it's just different.
It's interesting.
It's just different. And also like they break up the way that Austin High works is like they bus kids in from other areas. So it's like
Yeah.
you don't get the full recruiting talent that you could get. Whereas like Westlake, Lake Travis, and this is gonna fuck Lake Travis. Whenever they create the new high school, they're gonna have 2 high schools in Lake Travis apparently.
Oh, seriously? Yeah. I mean, it's overflowing.
Yeah. The
Right.
problem with that is that's when Lake Travis now. I mean, we'll see, but generally, like now you've split your team in half.
Yeah.
So you're probably not going to be as big of a powerhouse anymore. Whereas like Westlake, those kids from elementary school are in the football programs around Westlake, and like they're it's
Pop Warner stuff.
they're getting groomed to go.
Well, I see it. Like, have you seen the Bee Creek Sports Complex? You've seen how big that facility is.
Bee Creek Sports.
Yeah, it's not far from your house. Well, it is further.
Hill Country Indoor.
No, it's all outdoor. The soccer fields, football fields, baseball diamonds, right? Lots of them for kids. And I'm there every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for soccer practice, right? But I do my walks, 2-mile walks around the facility, and there are private, like 1-to-1. There'd be 15 kids and 15 coaches, and these kids are 10 years old.
Oh yeah,
and they're getting rigorous football training.
I mean, that's what I had that with baseball and soccer.
It looks like NFL drills that these kids are doing at 10 years old.
But that's first off, that's Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, my mom and Rich would be the same. Like, had private baseball coaches when we were that age.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's how you get better at the sport. You get ahead of everybody.
I mean, I view that as your parents are obsessed with getting you a scholarship to play that sport in college. Whereas
my mom just wanted me to be better than everybody else.
Yeah.
So that she could sit in those stands and,
that's my boy.
Yeah, exactly. It was only for like certain sports though. Like it wasn't for like soccer.
It's a cultural thing. You won't find many immigrants doing the same thing.
Well, but they're more focused on academics.
Yeah, and I grew up in the West, like in Toronto, but it's still the West, right? Similar cultures to the U.S. And over there, it's still, are you joining the chess team?
Yeah.
Are you in the physics club? I was doing all of those things, right?
See,
that was my thing. And I was on the, don't laugh, audience. I was on the badminton team.
Badminton's legit,
on the
though.
Tennis team. Those are the types of sports that, immigrant families, especially from Asia, are pushing their kids towards.
Most of the Asians in middle school,
and those racket sports.
Most of the Asians in middle school were tennis,
and it's a great sport. It's
a hella
amazing
good sport.
sport.
Hella good. But I always found that interesting when I was growing up. I was like, why is it? And that, yeah. Anyways, it is weird.
It's just it's an indication of what sports are popular around the world.
Like country club sport.
Yeah.
That's like, but I don't know. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, we'll see. I just want them to have a sport or something that they really enjoy, so I don't have to like pull their teeth about practicing and doing all that stuff. And I also want, hopefully, one of them to play golf.
What about dance?
Elliot's in dance, and they just promoted her to the 6 to 7 year old group, and she's 4 because apparently she's really
good dancer.
She's good.
Hip hop or
ballet.
Oh,
I'm not putting my fucking daughter in hip hop dance, having her shake her ass. Are you kidding me?
You're not shaking your ass in hip hop dancing.
Hip hop dance that is exactly, no way. I might sound like a.
Are you gonna send her off to Juilliard, live alone in New York?
Yeah, fuck that. I really don't want her to do dance.
I live next to, or LaGuardia High School for acting, but I lived for a number of years next to Juilliard, not far away from it.
Look, I think it's more of an art form than a sport, even though they are
dancers.
Yeah, I think they're incredible athletes, but I think dance as itself is more of an art than it is a sport.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
What I hate most about it is it's a judging sport.
Yeah. So it's subjective.
It's subjective, and it's obsessed with perfection, specifically around form and body.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to subject my kids to that. I think I know people are gonna, oh, dance is great, dance is this. Sure.
No, but just something that they enjoy.
If
started
she
to talk about something that they stick to
look,
and enjoy.
if she loves it,
yeah,
I am gonna be a dance dad.
because gymnastics are going to stunt your kids.
Yeah, oh, they're not gonna do gymnastics
You're
because
like 4'8".
they're doing gymnastics now just for like coordination, but that's not gonna be like a competitive thing. If Elliot really loves dance, obviously, like I'm gonna go all in on it. But it's just I'm not someone. I think it's kind of a fucked up thing, personally. Especially if you want to get really really competitive in it.
Your daughter, she's what, 7, 6,
4.
4. She does not know what she likes.
I know.
Every day it's going to be different.
I know. Right now she loves dance and she's really good at it. Apparently, I don't know. How can you be fucking
For
good?
one straight week, she's going to love pasta, and then the next week she's going to like, what the hell is this? I hate this stuff.
But she's pretty good at baseball.
Yeah, that's good.
She likes basketball, but she's like, I'm not old enough to play because she can't dribble.
I was watching a game yesterday at Bee Creek, 12-year-olds, and the pitcher. I stopped to watch because one team was the Blue Jays and they were wearing the full Blue Jays outfit. The other one was the Reds or something like that. And the pitcher for the Blue Jays, she was lanky 12-year-old blonde girl.
Oh, wow.
Who was taller than all her teammates.
A pitcher?
And she was pitching and she was striking everybody out.
Shut the fudge up.
Nobody was touching the ball. To the point where when you're working on your consistency, right?
Yeah.
To the point where when she did have a wild pitch, the other team was still swinging because it was expecting a strike.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See what sucks is like girls can compete like that with boys up until puberty.
Yeah.
Once
But then,
puberty,
the
once
strength
once
changes, right?
once puberty happens, everything changes.
Yeah.
Everything changes. That's where.
Hold on. What about that young girl for the U.S. team in the Little League World Series years ago?
I have
She
no
was
idea.
dominant. She played with the boys, and she was dominant.
Yeah.
She was famous for a little while.
I don't know.
Anyway, her aspiration was play in the Major League Baseball, but at some point you're just gonna not match the strength.
At some point, like biology, takes over, and there's no. But it doesn't.
Well,
but
I don't know if that's going to be forever because there are certain sports, like Manon Rhéaume, a name you've never heard about. She played a professional hockey game for the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was preseason, but Phil Esposito, the GM, felt that she was good enough to at least try out.
I don't deny.
Then a couple years later, she was in Playboy.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not kidding.
They probably paid her so much money. I don't deny. It's just biology eventually takes. It's impossible. You're going against what. It's just impossible unless you're doing like hormone therapy.
Yeah.
Which but my thing is like I don't really give a fuck if my daughter's playing against boys or not. Like I'm not trying to go prove that my daughter's as good as boys. I don't give a fuck about that. Like if she's
just want her to compete.
I just want her to compete.
Yeah.
I could care less about like is she playing boys or is she playing girls? Like I just want her to be dominant at whatever sport or whatever thing she's doing because that's going to be exciting to watch. But that's part of what pisses me off. Like why do girls play softball? Why the fuck are they not playing baseball? It's so annoying. Question. It's so dumb. Like that type of sexist bullshit is what pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like
I don't get that either.
Why are we throwing it fucking underhand? I mean, granted,
it's a fun sport, but why do they separate into those?
Why did they do that? Now, I mean, have you watched though, like the professional softball pitchers? That
is there a pro league?
Yeah, or college.
College, you mean, right?
Insane.
Yeah.
Fucking insane how fast that ball goes. I watched this one.
It's a shorter distance as well.
Shorter distance,
shorter reaction time,
and the ball rises.
Yeah,
it's. I watched the top college pitcher versus like one of the top MLB hitters on YouTube one time.
Yeah,
the guy couldn't hit a ball.
Yeah,
because it was just too crazy. Like
You got to make
So it's like
hitting
it's
a
not
baseball is one of the
it's
hardest
not
things in sport.
it's not like softball is like necessarily easier than baseball. I just don't understand like why they have to play why two fundamentally different ways of playing sort of the same game.
Yeah.
Right? Like because one's girl, one's boy.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I mean?
agree. I've often wondered the same thing. Why is there softball?
It annoys the shit out of me.
It should just be baseball. Which league are you in? Pick one.
It doesn't make any sense, bro. It doesn't make any sense. And Elliot's pretty damn good too. She'll play softball. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
But
well, she'll be playing baseball first, right?
for a while. Yeah.
It'll be mixed for several years.
Yeah.
And then they separate them. Don't know why.
I don't know why. So weird.
Same as soccer. It's all mixed, co-ed, and then there's a division at some point.
Yeah, no, I think at some point you do have to go. Soccer's different because soccer is the same for girls as it is for boys, right? Like there's no like smaller ball. Soccer is one of the most like equal sports. Same with volleyball.
Watching volleyball is just so much. I don't know why it's not.
They're
going to
be
on TV over here.
Look, if Elliot enjoys volleyball, one of my kids, Elliot, Stevie, or the third one, probably going to be a girl team as well. Dude, I'm telling you, they are going to be freaks at volleyball. Between myself and Rich, coaching and training them, it's not going to be fair. It's not going to be fair.
Well, Lake Travis High School recruits at the age of 7.
I met the head coach at Westlake the other day for Westlake volleyball. Yeah, she's a babe too.
Are you in the Westlake system or the Lake Travis system?
Westlake. Eanes.
Okay.
We're gonna be competing against each other. Don't worry, Nabs.
There you go. No, my kid's not going to Lake Travis.
Soccer.
No, he'll be going to.
He doesn't. He can play club.
He's not in public school.
He can play club though.
He's not. He'll just stick to what he's doing. He's not. I had a chat with him the other day. It's like, listen, your IQ in soccer is actually pretty elevated. You know where to be, what to do. I could see you coaching the other players on the team. Hey, you got to stand there and cover that guy, and you organize your teammates when they can't hear the coach, right? I get that your IQ in soccer is pretty elevated, probably advanced,
so
right?
What's wrong?
His the physical has not caught up to the mental.
That doesn't matter. He's young.
So yeah, he's young. It'll trigger one day. So I had that chat with him yesterday on the way to practice. I said, listen, you're really smart at this game. You know how to play it. You know what the strategy is. Your body hasn't caught up to that yet. You'll get there. Everything will happen.
How old is he?
He's turning 10 in a couple weeks.
Wow,
it'll catch up. You'll get taller one day suddenly overnight.
Yeah, you just keep him in it.
Faster.
Just keep him in it.
Yeah, I'm going to.
And
he's getting dejected. His team's losing 10-0 every week. I complained to the league organizers. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? The kids are getting confidence is getting crushed. They're playing these kids that are
first off, you need to be
more talented.
You need to find him a different team.
They select the teams, right? Yeah, you can't.
Well, the thing about soccer that I love is that you can start playing club at a pretty early age. So, like, I think 10 is when I started playing club soccer. DFW has a huge club soccer program.
Yeah,
I think Austin does too now because the Austin FC, like it's getting even bigger. So like these club teams, like most people that go play college and pros, like it's not because they played in high school, they played club soccer.
Yeah.
Club is where it's at.
Yeah, I know.
And you can go and he can try out. And even if he gets put on, like he'll make a team, even if it's the worst team, right?
Yeah.
They match them up with the other teams at that level.
Yeah, that's what this league is supposed to be doing too.
But this league is organized by a central figure.
Yeah.
The clubs are organized by like you have someone that runs the club. It's just like in Europe.
Yeah.
Like you have someone that runs the club and every club, has a different thing and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think what did I play for? Andromeda, and then I played for Inter.
Well, the good news is the organizers of his league took my feedback seriously, and they said we're going to look at the last 2 games and make sure that their opponent is at their level. I mean, they were losing 12-0. They've scored 1 goal all season, their team.
Yeah, it just sounds unbalanced.
Yeah, it's just not fair, not right.
Get the kid in club.
I mean, I'll look into it.
It's really fun.
It sounds far away.
No, they probably have a Lake Travis. They probably have some stuff in Lake
Pro
Travis.
teams? I'll look for it. Never
I know, like
considered it.
Westlake FC, like they have like tryouts and stuff.
Yeah?
There's probably something in Lake Travis. I know there is.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got shit to do.
Go Leafs, go. Big game 6 tonight.
It is 11 o'clock
Central.
Central, May 2nd. May the 4th.
It's coming up. Oof. Saturday.
May 2nd, a Thursday. We missed Rich, the Scap Daddy, but no worries.
How many vacation days does he get a year?
I mean, guy really taking advantage of the unlimited vacation policy.
I took 3 partial days off, and I heard complaints from people around me.
All right.
Startup life. You got to close deals, man.
Got to close them. All right, Nabs. Going to sign off here. We got Nabil Cuddy Siddiqui, and I'm Colton. We're the Fuse Daddies.
2/3.
2/3. 2/3 Fuse Daddies. See you guys next week.